Despite us being nerds, we here at the Comics Quest are well acquainted with American football.
But it's kind of shocking to find out that there simply aren't a lot of good comic books about football. After all, comic book superheroes and football are about as American as you can get. Nearly every mainstream Marvel and DC character has played football at some point, and Cyborg was D1 bound until his accident. Fun fact, the legendary Jack Kirby was contracted by the NFL to rework a handful of their mascots.
So when we discovered Southern Bastards in 2014, we were hyped, as two of our favorite pastimes were finally given an opportunity to come together.
We might have misled you, just a bit, because Southern Bastards is only about football so much as Breaking Bad is about a chemistry teacher. Published by Image Comics, written by Jason Aaron, drawn by Jason Latour, and inked by Chris Berner, the series won multiple Eisner and Harvey Awards for Best Writer and Best New Series.
And to clarify, we're only going to talk about the comic series, not one of the creators' alleged misconduct or their personal lives.
Jason Aaron is a good man. He signed my copy of Scrooge McDuck.
In truth, Southern Bastards may already be divisive enough.
Southern Bastards is set in rural Craw County, Alabama, under the near-total control of a single crime boss, Coach Ulysses Boss, leading the local high school football team, the Running Rebs, from state championship to state championship for decades. And by more or less indoctrinating the impressionable young minds of his players for decades, Boss has amassed a small army who follow their coach's orders unconditionally. But after some questionable calls on and off the field, such as the death of Earl Tubb and the Rebs' embarrassing loss, Ulysses Boss scrambles to hold on to the power he holds over the county. That power is further called into question when veteran Berta Tubb comes back to Craw County with some questions regarding the death of her father.
The plot of Southern Bastards might sound simple on paper,
but Craw County is huddled in between decades of cult or even mafia-like justice. Whatever you want to label the heathenist tactics Ulysses employs, they are under the thin guise of a team and its fandom. How something as mundane as a high school football team shapes the people in a territory of the United States that is as divisive as it is misrepresented is fascinating.
And we ain't finna make y'all more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs or give you that yuppie talk. But facts are facts. Alabama has its problems.
Specifically looking at factors like education, infrastructure, and healthcare, Alabama has been labeled as the 46th best state in the Union, which is to say the only place worse than Alabama is Mississippi. Or Louisiana. But listen, everyone we've ever met from any of those states has been nothing but nice, and one of our favorite comic book YouTubers is even from Alabama.
So it seems people are not the driving force behind the problems that plague so many of our communities.
Rather, the laws, officials, and systems have failed its citizens. Is it out of the question then for a strong man with an unconventional occupation to come to some type of social, if not political power? Evidently not.
And for us, that's why Southern Bastards is so hard to recommend. When people are predisposed to poverty, crime, and lack meaningful opportunities, they will look to anyone with a vision, even when that vision clings to some unobtainable past. The peaked in high school phenomenon, if you will. But Southern Bastards illustrates that some parts of our country want to relive the glory days.
Southern Bastards is only so good because it's so revealing about the attitudes surrounding the southern United States. Yet, much of the subject matter Southern Bastards presented at the time of its initial publication simply were not talking points for most of the country.
I mean, the main character was a strong, independent black female before that was cool, but days before Lemonade, I imagine.
How can the South reconcile with its past and improve its future? How have race relations changed?
Hey, boys! Look what I got here! Hey, where are the white women at?
What exactly failed its citizens? What does populism look like? How does it start? And where can it go?
And most importantly, what exactly are we going to do about these hillbilly meth heads?
the creative team does not have all the answers, but those provided are deeply satisfying.
Either way, we cautiously recommend Southern Bastards because it's mature and it does ask the reader some rather uncomfortable questions.
Technically, Southern Bastards is not canceled and currently sits at issue 20. But the last issue came out in 2018, so its future remains uncertain. And if that's it for the series, well, farewell, bastard.
We've had some fun at the expense of the South, and it was all in fair play. We're from Colorado, the state that invented the school, theater, and Chuck E. Cheese mash. We were among the first states to legalize weed just for shits and giggles, and we will burn the city of Denver to the fucking ground if you accept no other than John Elway as nothing less than your Lord and Savior. And no, it doesn't seem all that reasonable to burn your own city to the ground, but after a decade of top shelf weed and an apparent lurking predisposition towards unspeakable acts of violence, I think it's safe to say we're all a bit paranoid. Or maybe it's just the altitude.
I think this was Samuel L. Jackson's favorite comic. And are you better than Samuel L. Jackson?